Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Sean P. Diddy Combs was indicted on September 16th, 2024, and is currently in federal custody. But how did we get here?
We're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. Come out and play. It just makes me feel like I know how to throw a party.
Diddy's parties were definitely a who's who in Hollywood, as well as in business and politics. And there were some powerful people in those rooms partying with Diddy.
Give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop.
Your dreams fulfilled, you're rocking with the best.
People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on.
Public enemy #1.
All of Diddy's parties were star-studded events with names from every industry. If you were powerful and you were known, you were more than likely going to be at a Diddy party.
Can't tell that one either.
With all of the recent events surrounding Sean P. Diddy Combs, I wanted to just take a look deeper into how he built his empire. Diddy has gone by many names: Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, PD, Brother Love. He is an American rapper, actor, and entrepreneur who founded an entertainment company which includes Bad Boy Records, the clothing label Sean John, and Revolt TV.
Back with Puffy Combs and with Mace, and you guys, you bet the hottest guys going today. How must that feel at 26 and 19 years old?
I mean, we feel blessed. We, thank God for everything. We constantly pray and know that He's responsible for everything that has been blessed and granted to us. That's what we try to tell young kids, that it's important to have God in your life. And
I have to agree with you on that one. Now, you have produced records for...
Back then, Diddy had already begun building his empire. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993 and signed Mace, aka Mason Bethel, one of the hottest artists in the industry and actually one of my favorites.
Now, you have produced records for the best that there is, and you're so young. How did you start with this whole thing?
I started really dancing in music videos, just trying to just get a job and make ends meet. I went to college at Howard University, and so that's how I was paying some bills by dancing in music videos, and that's how I sort of behind the scenes. They kind of intrigued me, so I started working for free. I took an internship, and I would...
One thing I will say is that he was determined to make it into the music industry. Sean P. Diddy Combs actually dropped out of college after 2 years of pursuing a business degree to pursue his career in music and entertainment.
They kind of intrigued me, so I started working for free. I took an internship, and I would work for record companies for free, like a record company called Uptown MCA Records.
Right.
And that's how I got my start, from behind the scenes, just working for free. And then when a job became available, I was like one of the most likely candidates, and I got a chance, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, and that it all happened pretty quickly for you, from being an intern to being on the cover of the Rolling Stone. There you are in your underwear. Look at that.
I'm sure back then that Diddy felt like he was sitting on top of the world, and the world was his oyster.
Oh, there you are in your underwear. Look at that. We had Brandy on the show.
Yeah.
You produced some stuff for her,
Yes,
right?
I produced some stuff for Brandy.
Did you know she had such a crush on you? She said she could hardly look at you. When you walked in the room, she had to take a nap.
I kind of figured there was a problem. I was, whenever I worked with her, she wouldn't let me be in the room when I worked with her. So a lot of people asked me, how was it to work with Brandy? And I said I wouldn't really know, because she would never let me in the room when she was sitting her vocals.
Not a bad thing, huh?
Yeah,
and you have your own.
Cool.
You have your own record label now.
Yes, I have my own record label. All of my artists on my record label. I'm on my own record label. It's
That's
called Bad
name.
Boy Entertainment.
And this young man is on your label, and his
name is Mace.
Yes, Mace. His CD, it went #1, debuted at #1.
Yes. Yes, I mean, that's like astonishing. The only other person to do that is like myself and Snoop Dogg. And
How about that, Mace? Congratulations to you. When did you start rapping? How old were you?
I started rapping about 3 years ago.
Yeah?
And I basically went to Atlanta to meet somebody else, but I ran into Puff and he gave me a shot. And I just try to make the best of my opportunity.
And you sure have done that. How does it feel to be 19 and #1?
In the years to follow, Diddy would experience many more accomplishments and sign some very lucrative contracts. At one point, Diddy became the face of Ciroc. At the time, the agreement included a 50-50 split with the company. It is also estimated that Sean P. Diddy Combs made $60 million annually from that deal, according to records. September 16th, 2024 would become a day of reckoning for Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars until his trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The judge tonight denying bail after prosecutors argued he's a flight risk who could potentially intimidate witnesses. CBS's Jerika Duncan was in the courtroom just feet away from Diddy. And Jerika, what did you see?
That's right. You know what, Nora?
Because this case is being held in a federal courthouse, there are no cameras or recording devices allowed into the proceedings. However, one can still attend in person, and I do plan on attending the trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs in the Southern District in New York.
Away from Diddy. And Jerika, what did you see?
That's right. You know what, Nora? I was right in the front row, about 12 feet away from where Combs was sitting. And throughout, I noticed he really kept his focus on the judge, at times looking at his attorney. But it was that moment when the judge said that bail was denied that he turned around and looked at his 3 sons who were in that courtroom and softly patted his chest.
54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs was led away in handcuffs this afternoon after being denied bail. His attorney blasted the decision.
He's a fighter and he's going to fight this.
Combs was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and interstate transportation for prostitution following a months-long Homeland Security investigation.
Between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires.
Prosecutors allege that Combs used his business empire to force women to engage in sexual acts with professional sex workers at events he called freak-offs. It was there that prosecutors say Combs was violent toward the women, alleging he would hit, kicked, threw objects at, and at times dragged victims by their hair.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
The charges outlined in Sean P. Diddy Combs' indictment are very serious. And I want to just remind everyone that it is the burden of the prosecution to prove the case of guilt. Until then, Diddy is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Dragged victims by their hair.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
The charges come after Homeland Security raided Combs' homes in LA and Miami last March. Agents say they seized 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, ammunition, narcotics, and recordings of some of the sex acts, which prosecutors say he used to manipulate his victims. Last November, Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit alleging Combs raped, physically abused, and sex trafficked her during their 10-year relationship. Combs reached a settlement in that case, denying any wrongdoing. But 6 months later, video surfaced.
Under the fair use doctrine of the U.S. copyright statute, it is permissible to use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and scholarly reports. There are no legal rules permitting the use of a specific number of words, a certain number of musical notes, or percentage of a work. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
In that case, denying any wrongdoing. But 6 months later, video surfaced from 2016 showing Combs hitting, kicking, and dragging Ventura by the hair.
When you are looking at a racketeering charge, which carries life in prison, when you're looking at sex trafficking charges, this is someone who really may never see the light of day.
Despite the allegations outlined in the indictment, Sean P. Diddy Combs' attorney has been very vocal regarding his client's innocence, and he intends to prove that Sean P. Diddy Combs is an innocent man.
Been with him since 8 o'clock this morning, and it's about almost 3 o'clock now. He's just laser focused. He's engaged. He's helpful. He's confident. You know, we're going through our defense as we do every day, and his spirits are relatively good. I mean, you know, it's always difficult to be in a place like this, but I can tell you, the staff has been helpful and really, you know, wonderful to us. They've given us full access to him. I have no complaints whatsoever, and I'll be coming here every day. So, you know, every day until he's out, I will be here with him, working on his defense, making sure that this case goes in the right direction, which results in him leaving this building.
And you are thinking of bail?
It's good to hear that his attorney plans on checking in with his client on a daily basis, because in my personal opinion, Sean P. Diddy Combs is in a world of danger. He captured many powerful and influential people around the world on video, and some of them may have taken part in the freak-offs. They don't want that information out there.
Which results in him leaving this building.
And you are thinking of bail?
We're going to make that decision, you know, as to whether we're going to do an appeal. We'll probably make that decision by Monday or Tuesday, I think.
What do you think of the prosecutors saying they have all these witnesses and more people coming out and saying,
you know,
things?
Listen, I don't want to say. I think I know what the heart of the case is, and I've said what I thought it was in court, and we think we have defenses to all of the allegations, which is why I think his spirits are as good as they are. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, but I'll be here again. I'm coming every day.
Right. One other question for you.
The last one.
How do you explain the baby oil and the lubricants? 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there's a Costco right down the street. You know, I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know. And you know, this is consensual adults.
Americans buy in bulk? Sir, that is not a defense. Not for the amount of lubricant and baby oil that the government reported that he had. Costco had a response to Sean P. Diddy Combs' attorney's assertion that there's a Costco right down the street. And this is what they had to say.
Costco responds after Diddy's attorney suggests the rapper bought baby oil in bulk from the retailer. In a recent preview of TMZ's upcoming documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo.
Under the fair use doctrine of the U.S. copyright statute, it is permissible to use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and scholarly reports. There are no legal rules permitting the use of a specific number of words, a certain number of musical notes, or percentage of a work. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Documentary The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, was asked why the music mogul had such a large stash of personal lubricant and baby oil, which, according to authorities, was over 1,000 bottles altogether. Agnifilo told the outlet in the preview of Diddy, he has a big house. He buys in bulk. I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. The attorney then joked, "Have you sat in the parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?" Now Costco is addressing Agnefilo's claim, telling TMZ that none of the company's U.S. locations carry baby.
So then Sean P. Diddy Combs went to BJ's.
And you know, this is consensual adults doing what consensual adults do. You know, we can't get so puritanical in this country to think that somehow sex is a bad thing, because if it was, there'd be no more people. So as of right now, hi, my name is Mark Agnifilo. I'm Mr. Combs' lawyer. We have not seen the indictment. I expect it'll be unsealed, I think, within the hour. Then everyone will be able to see it. I expect we're going to have an arraignment at some point later today. It's unclear exactly what time, but as these details become known to me, I'll share them with the press, and you guys won't be behind the curve, I promise.
Did you speak to Mr. Combs?
I speak to him all the time, yeah.
What's his reaction to everything that's happening?
We knew this was coming. I mean, he moved to New York, as I think some of you guys know. We brought him to New York about 2 weeks ago because we knew this day was going to come, and it's here.
Did you expect it to happen last night? Was that planned?
No, it's not planned. Certainly, it's not planned by us. I mean, he came here to surrender at a time agreeable to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then they arrested him last night. I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life, and he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges. We know what the charges are going to be without seeing the indictment. It's going to be racketeering, it's going to be sex trafficking, it's going to be things along those lines. This is what we've been expecting since the searches in March. He, to his great credit, he voluntarily came to New York. Not a lot of defendants do that. He came to New York to basically engage the court system and start the case, and it'll start today. And he's going to plead not guilty, obviously. He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs.
Do you think he'll be released?
I'm going to fight like hell to get him released, and he should be released with all that he's done and coming here voluntarily. And guys, I'm going to cut it short because I have to go in. All right? So thank you all very much, and I'll keep you all posted.
I know some people may not like this, and it may be an unpopular opinion, but I like Sean P. Diddy Combs' attorney. He's very wise. He is not just paying attention to the present day. He's looking ahead. Right now, what he's doing is damage control. The nature of the charges are very serious, and in this day and age are just not tolerable by anyone. So he is publicly asserting his client's innocence. He is also confirming that they are going to fight this with all that they have.
Guys, I'm going to cut it short because I have to go in. All right? So thank you all very much, and I'll keep you all posted.
Have you spoken to Combs this morning?
Not this morning. I'm going to see him now. I was with him till 1 o'clock. So
Is he in court already?
I don't know. That's one of the things I'm going to go see. But I'm going to run, you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right, fellas. Bye. So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he. And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore. I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear.
Diddy anticipated turning himself in on September 17th. However, the government went and picked him up instead.
Today, I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith. He got on a plane and he came here. And if he stayed here for one day before the case started or for 1 year before the case started, he was going to stay as long as he needed to stay. It ends up being only 12 days. That's fine. That's what the government wanted to do. The government didn't want him to turn himself in. He came here to turn himself in. Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. But we are going to make all these points again tomorrow, and we'll make them as much as we can until we get him out. So that's all I have.
So thank you, Caitlin. So I think we have a good shot tomorrow. Tomorrow we argue in front of the district court judge whose case this is. Today we argued in front of a magistrate judge whose case this is not. We'll never have this magistrate as our judge again. But tomorrow we argue in front of Judge Carter, and it's Judge Carter's case till the end. So hope springs eternal.
Under the fair use doctrine of the U.S. copyright statute, it is permissible to use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and scholarly reports. There are no legal rules permitting the use of a specific number of words, a certain number of musical notes, or percentage of a work. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Carter, and it's Judge Carter's case till the end. So hope springs eternal, but I think we have strong arguments, and I think we have a good chance.
Well, and what prosecutors are arguing is not only does your client pose a flight risk, because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff, even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago. They were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them. And so I guess the question is, how do you assure the court that that won't happen if prosecutors are saying this is someone who's attempted to bribe security staff and has already threatened and interfered with witnesses?
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York. I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is. But he wants to surrender. He's here to surrender. They didn't want him to surrender because if he surrenders, they don't get to tell the judge that he's a flight risk and he's a danger. Because who, as a danger and a flight risk, would fly to New York and surrender? So they didn't want him to surrender.
Made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility. And I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible. I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide to me, but everything's on the government's timetable, nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial. And I'm going to be pushing for that. He's ready. He's focused. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective. I obviously would much prefer to fight this case with him out of jail, and we are going to try to bring that about through additional legal process. But wherever he is, his resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
Like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all got to go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
There are tons of clips, memes, and different things coming out surrounding Sean P. Diddy Combs. But the clip I just played was rather interesting to me because he told the children that it's almost their time to leave because the party is going to turn into something that when they get older, they're going to want to attend. What did he mean by that?
A little bit, then an hour we put the kids away, so good. Hey, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
It's now been 1 week since the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy is now at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a place that's been described as hell on earth. Fox 8's Lisa Evers is at MDC right now on Diddy's life behind bars. Lisa, what are you finding out tonight?
Well, Natasha and Steve, for the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section. There is no concierge, only conmen, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad, I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible. It's just terrible.
The inmates that you're surrounded around, just in general, a lot of them are brought up on pretty heavy federal indictments, right? So just in terms of the atmosphere there, it's just certainly one that no one wants to be in.
Combs was placed in a special housing unit and on.
He is currently being housed in the MDC's special unit. That unit is described as a barracks-style area, currently housing 18 to 20 inmates who require special protection.
No one wants to be in.
Combs was placed in a special housing unit and on suicide watch, the standard protocol for high-profile celebrity detainees. The disgraced mogul was denied bail by 2 separate judges. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, asked the court to transfer him to the federal detention section at the Essex County Jail, but the judge deferred to the Bureau of Prisons. Federal trial attorney Philip Hamilton says lockdown can mean a lot less time to prepare your defense. Detainees on suicide watch were tearaway.
Under the fair use doctrine of the US copyright statute, it is permissible to use limited portions of a work, including quotes, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and scholarly reports. There are no legal rules permitting the use of a specific number of words, a certain number of musical notes, or percentage of a work. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
A lot less time to prepare your defense. Detainees on suicide watch wear tearaway paper hospital-style garments and rubber shower shoes. The isolation may be the worst part for Combs. It's being done for his protection in the violence-prone facility. He will have no bunkie.
He's probably not going to have any contact with any other inmates. So for him, it's going to be a little different than for a person like me, where I will go in, I will go through process and intake, and then they'll assign me a cell, and I'll have a bunkie or a cellmate, and I'll be in population.
For him to be able to get out at this point.
It's my firm belief that Sean P. Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, PD, is not getting out of federal custody unless and or until he is acquitted by a jury of his peers. Suge Knight, currently incarcerated, had a few things to say about Diddy's situation.
For people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him?
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you or nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, and I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get what he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true and what's not true. The only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being happy and proud and say, what do people think? That's irrelevant.
So, Suge.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure. That Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with at the top. If you're starting with the top, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, it went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy.
Keep going, Suge.
They speak about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison. That's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand. What tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. But they used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. the eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look. That's
Suge,
all you got to do is watch.
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it, but if you haven't been in those butt-naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something, but I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you got to look at it like this. When you see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life, from elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth sticks and lipsticks and nose sticks, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young men with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're
right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Now, what does 45-year-old former bad boy artist Shine, who's now a politician, feel about Sean P. Diddy Combs' current situation? For those of you who do not remember Shine, he was signed to the Bad Boy label during the period of that nightclub pum-puming, which Rodney Jones alleges that Diddy was responsible for. Shine took the fall, did 10 years in prison, and was deported to his home country, Belize, on October 28th, 2009.
Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Sean P. Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, PD, Brother Love, has gone from living in millionaire mansions, the lifestyle of the rich and famous, to now being housed in the Brooklyn MDC Detention Center. He is there awaiting trial on his federal indictment. On September 27th, 2024, there was yet another lawsuit filed by a Jane Doe alleging similar behaviors as outlined in the indictment. Additionally, Houston-based attorney Tony Busby announces that he will be representing 50 victims in association with Sean P. Diddy Combs' freak-offs. So right now, it's just not looking good for Diddy. Guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the content. I do plan on staying on top of everything going on with Sean P. Diddy Combs, and I will provide you guys with updates as they become available. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing today. Set your notifications to all so that you're notified when I go live or add new content.